Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the DX Gamer Show. My name is Mike, aka Operation DX, and welcome to episode 13 of PlanetBase. As you can see, we're still having issues from stuff that we did towards the end of the previous episode. We are having some oxygen issues because I built a large biodome which pretty much sucked all the oxygen out of all the different zones out of my entire base, and that's why I'm still getting oxygen warnings. It's like my base caught a cold and it's trying to get rid of it. But we are really tipping on the edge of the oxygen supply. I mean, we're building some additional buildings, and we have exactly 30 colonists inside of our colony. Our medium-sized O2 generator can only support 30 people. So as I add additions to the base, it does cause a bit of a problem. And I think I was talking earlier about how if you don't have enough oxygen supply and you have too many people congregating in a certain area, that room will start to fail as far as the oxygen supply. So during the beginning of this episode, we are going to get right on friggin' top of that. So immediately I'm going to build an O2 generator right behind the large biodome. I'll kind of work out how exactly I'm going to structure this later. This isn't exactly how I had envisioned this section of the base kind of being placed, but we have to do things to facilitate the base's needs, and right now the need is oxygen in a bad way. In order to make any additions and be able to turn on the new biolab or biodome, we're gonna have to build an O2 generator. After that, I'm probably gonna have to build an additional water pump, and we should be good to go. This episode, I'm going to tinker around with the power supply. So after I get all this stuff kind of straightened out with the oxygen, get myself a little bit more water, I'm going to probably take down the wind turbine like I've been talking about for many episodes now. And I'm going to put up an additional solar array and probably add one or two more power collectors. And if there's time after all of that stuff, I'll probably add an additional dorm to the base. Right now we have the smaller size dorm. I'm actually going to add a large size dorm to the base. Now, I did talk about how I wanted to build housing specifically for the colony. And inside of the large housing structures, you can only fit 7 beds. But I kind of want to have a bed for every colonist. And the reason why I want to do that is because not only does it fulfill their sleep, it also makes them happy. So if they don't have enough time during the day to, watch whatever's on Mars Flicks, or make it to the rec center that I'm eventually going to build, or have a beer in the bar when that eventually gets built, the sleep thing, it really helps. And it helps with efficiency too. So when they go down to sleep, their happiness meter is rising while their sleep meter is rising, and that is all good. Is all good stuff, definitely. Okay, so now that we have the basic plan laid out for this episode, it's time to do my standard sidetrack. Move it to the side. That is what I'm doing at this point, at this juncture. All right, so lots of good stuff in the comments. You guys totally picked up that I was really tired on the previous episode. You know what? I'm kind of tired in this episode. I'm all messed up. My sleep is totally messed up because of that whole computer stuff that I did. And, it's really frustrating having to do something like several times in a row, like having to reinstall Windows twice on the same machine. That really irks me. And it happens more often than I would like it to happen for whatever reason. I don't know. I have usually fantastic luck with hardware, okay, but I have terrible luck when it comes to installing Windows on my machine. I don't know what's going on there. It's not cool, man. I have been like a computer technician most of my life, okay? I've worked as a computer tech. I've worked as a phone tech. I've done a lot of that. Some of my first jobs coming out of high school were tech jobs. So like I've been there in the deep of it. So I shouldn't have any issue. You know, and like I'm really kind of dumb when it comes to installing stuff. I'm really smart when it comes to backing things up, but I'm really dumb when it comes to installing things. Because there are just oodles and oodles and oodles of programs out there to like make a freaking ghost of your drive. Even though, you know what, when you swap hardware, I always like to install the OS again. Because things just are never quite right. Even when I swap a video card, you know, you uninstall it, and it could even be the same class. Because I've been running with GTX series cards, and I like to reinstall the OS after I do that, because sometimes it can get a little goofy. All right. So, yeah, what else? We have a commenter kind of climbing up the ranks, just kind of like binge watching right now during the last couple of days. And this person is making like comments on all these videos, you know, making suggestions, and it's great. It's funny. And I'm waiting for him to pretty much get up to, or her, I don't know, get up to this particular episode, you know, because yeah, I always talk about you guys in the comments. I always talk about, oh, we lost CR1. Oh, so we lost Blue Bot in this episode. So we lost my favorite bot in the previous episode. We lost the original Blue Bot that came off the colony ship in this episode. We have 2 more bots, I think, floating around. And when I slow down, we'll start actually cranking the bots out. I'll probably push that up to like 10. That way I can have the bots moving around quickly. All right, so our O2 generator, it really shouldn't take that long to build. I mean, it only requires, 1 bioplastic, 1 metal on the main, 1 bioplastic, 1 metal on the corridor. And we are good, I think. That's right for because you can build 2 sizes of this one, and this is the larger size. All right, so we are good. Oxygen is good. Let's take a look at that. Look at how fast that's filling up. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. And that allows us to support 30 more colonists, but we are not going to be letting people in just yet. We're not ready yet. We don't have enough beds. We don't have enough food. See, my food stocks are, even though it looks like we have a decent amount, like that's relatively low. Like 20 vegetables, 20 of the meats, 3 meals in the machine, 2 meals in the machine. Yeah, that's not a lot. All right, so obviously, if I want to build more plants in the new biodome, I want to make sure that I have a good supply of water. And also, maybe not during this episode, maybe during the next episode, I will build one of those water tanks. It's kind of like the power collector. It gives you an indication when your water is not doing good, instead of just getting a warning like, oh, I just built 1 too many plants. Oh crap, I'm hosed. Yeah, so I like to have that kind of like leeway. Alright, so we're going to change a couple things around here in the production list. Spare parts, I think that's good at 10. Medical supplies, I think that's good at 10. I'm just kind of monitoring my bioplastics right now. Guns, we're going to turn that up. Especially after the comment I got, because I didn't realize that when there's an intruder inside of the base, that the regular colonists beeline it for the gun locker. I thought just the security guards carry the guns. So, I don't know. I really hope to see that happen when we start letting people in. I want that to be a thing so I can sound the red alert. I'm looking for a reason. No. That's wrong. I'm like, not building another wind generator. Come on. we're building a large solar array. It actually takes more materials too. So yeah, it's just a better thing in general. All right, and we are going to scrap you. So goodbye, wind turbine. Just take a quick look around. Yeah, we could turn this back on for sure. Yeah, we're done with the wind turbine. We are going to scrap this guy for sure. And the metal that is going to pretty much is... I guess it's going to be like a couple metal, yeah? 4. Okay, cool. So that will probably go towards the solar panel, and then we'll just need 3 more metal, 4 more metal in order to get the bridge built and the main unit built. And that will be good. And now we don't have to just rely on the wind. And now especially the top bar in the right corner is like, it's not important to be on that. Right now, pretty much all it's telling us is how many colonists we have and how many robots we have in our facility. Time of day, we have eyes, we can see. Okay, there's light, there's not light. So we could pretty much leave this top right bar up here with the supplies, because it's a good thing to have for sure. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and shift gears here, and you guys, I apologize. This is probably gonna go on for quite a little while, and I'm gonna get a little ranty, and I'm a little frustrated about this whole thing, but it's something I've been kind of holding back. This really warrants its own video, but this series kind of allows me to talk about things that are just, you know, just pretty much put it all out there. When it comes to the channel, yeah, I just talk about everything. It doesn't matter. All right, so I am extremely frustrated right now with Keen Software House, the developers of Space Engineers. Yes, very. All right, so about a month and a half ago, right, I was working really, really hard on a special project for the channel for, you know, the subscribers that enjoy Space Engineers content, you know, and I feel like, you know, I owe those particular subscribers, the people who have subscribed to my channel specifically because of Space Engineers, to give them a proper series, right? Because I've got so many like half-started series and half-finished stuff, and I feel so bad about it. And I did the same kind of thing with a couple other games, and, you know, I feel bad about those, and, you know, I want to do stuff about that too, but I'll get to that later. Now, there is only so much room for the term alpha and early access. Really, there's only so much room that you can give it. I mean, if I could apply the term alpha and early access to doing something like, you know, I'm just going to go crap in the middle of the living room, and I'm going to have someone else come over here and clean it up. And it's alpha, so it's okay, right? That's kind of how I feel about this. You know, it's like, if I could apply the term alpha to, like, all the bad stuff that, like, I've done, you know, and people are going to defend me, well, then I'm just going to go ahead and do that. All right, so Space Engineers. It has been in development for more than 2 years, all right? And, you know, this makes me think of, like, Kerbal Space Program, right? Kerbal Space Program never made mistakes like Keen Software House is making right now. And they're breaking their game. They're destroying Space Engineers. They're destroying their IP. And let me get into it. What are you talking about? Okay, I think the planet thing is fantastic. I love the idea. I can't wait to see it. Partly that has to do with what I'm talking about, but not completely and not directly. All right, so about a month and a half ago, a weekend ago, I think version 1.99, I don't know the versions of the game because, like, I haven't touched it in like a month because I can't play the game because it's freaking broken, okay? They did a feature freeze and they said that we're going to do bug fixing. I'm like, oh yeah, fantastic, because there are things in the game that just need work, and I actually enjoy it when they say it. Like I'm like, great, yes, do it, feature freeze and bug fix your game, please, awesome. And that to them seems to mean break our game as bad as we possibly can break it. Okay, the oxygen system in that game hasn't worked for a month and a week. I think it's still broken. I'll have to test it out, but it was definitely broken for an entire month. The oxygen tanks wouldn't fill because they changed the property files because they need to prepare their game for planets. But in order to prepare their game for planets, they're breaking like everything. They're breaking mods. They're breaking mods that are like so freaking great and fantastic. And I feel so bad for these authors. And what sucks is, and this happens a lot, someone makes a really great mod for a game, and the developers like change some small thing in the game, and it breaks that mod. And that's terrible when you have like a game that is like dedicated towards mod support. I mean, when the game like released and it had the Steam Workshop integration, that was the best thing that ever happened to Space Engineers. Seriously, the best thing that ever happened to that game, because the content that people created for that game is just, it's unreal, man. It's unreal. It's freaking fantastic. There are just some spectacular mods. And that's why, like, I feel bad. I feel bad for these guys, because some of these guys, like, they're not going to fix some of the stuff that has been, and we've already been through like a couple of phases in that game where like lots of things have broke. So when they went from the whole DirectX 9 to DirectX 11 fiasco, a lot of the mod authors had to like fix all their stuff because all the textures wouldn't show up, and that's fine. That is alpha, I understand that. But when you implement a system like Oxygen that has worked ever since its concept and ever since it was implemented into the game, and then all of a sudden you add this extra property into the gas file or whatever that manages Oxygen, and the game, doesn't work properly since, it's game breaking. So what they've done is they've added hydrogen to the game, which is kind of planet specific. So they're adding features into the game for planets that haven't been released yet. So it's like, man, you guys, what are you doing? What they should have done is they should have held back on these features and waited. And they need someone like to QA, like, seriously, like, they've left features like broken for it's unplayable. I can't continue what I was doing. And I don't know, like, after, like, I put so much work into it, and I don't know after all this time if I'm gonna be able to go back and continue what I was working on in the game. So I'm really frustrated about that whole thing. Anyways, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, like, I'm mad about it. Like, it's been, I shouldn't be so upset because it's just a video game, and I've totally been playing some other stuff. The thing of it is it's just all the effort and time. It's time that like has been taken away, and I can't do anything about it, and it's time that I may never get back, kind of thing. And that's why I'm frustrated. That's why I'm angry. And I probably should have held off. I know better in certain situations. I mean, the same thing kind of happened to me in Kerbal Space Program when I was doing my own stuff. The game changed in lots of different ways, and I lost things several times. And the nice thing, though, about Kerbal Space Program that Space Engineers does not have is I have backup files of all these like major additions and changes that I personally made to the game to, improve it. And I can't do that with Space Engineers because of the system Steam has implemented. And Space Engineers, unlike other early access titles, doesn't have a opt-in, opt-out beta system. I would love nothing more than to take my game and rewind it back to 1.099 or whatever that was before they broke oxygen. I would love nothing more to do that, and then maybe even just do the series from there, because I don't even know if the game's going to be the same after they get all this stuff up and implemented. But what they need to do is like stop these fixes until they actually fix things. All right, so okay, I think I'm good now. I think I'm okay. I feel better. I had to say my piece, right? I just had to say what I had to say. Now, in the whole Universum thing, it's way pre-alpha. You know, I was a little hard on the game, so yeah, I deserve to catch flack for that. But I personally feel that Keen Software House has no excuse at all. You know, none whatsoever for what's going on here. So they need to, I don't know. They need to do something. They need to fix their freaking games. What they need to freaking do. Okay, I'm done. Okay, cool. All right, so we've done pretty good. We've got a lot of stuff done here. We got 3 solar panels up. The other one hasn't done its bid for King and Country yet because it got finished during the nighttime here, so it'll turn and fill up. We got our water pump. We got our oxygen generator up and running. I really should kind of sit and let things kind of gel so I can get some more bots and stuff going. I was saying that in the previous episode. I really should do that. And then, of course, I have one more power collector kind of being built. So, yeah, that whole stop and let things gel. Yeah, it's not working out so well for me. But maybe I'll take a quick, you know, just let it settle down for a second. But these additions are not really breaking me. You know, sometimes getting overzealous and letting more colonists inside of your colony can be really detrimental and just damage your colony irreparably. And I don't want to do that. So I'm happy with my 30 colonists right now because it is a stable thing. And while we make these additions, we're stable. We have enough food. We're not running out of food. It seems like it's just the perfect harmony, the perfect balance. I've talked about this, but it really is. It's perfect. All right, so since we built those additional buildings, we are running into a bit of a power issue. But I knew I was going to, and that's why I built an additional power collector. And that should let us sit nice and comfortably with our base, and we can make some more additions. Maybe this will give the time to kind of let things slow down. So we have bioplastics on the rise. Obviously, the power collectors don't use bioplastics, so those are going to climb up. But my cargo facility is always kind of full, right? So they'll probably just kind of sit inside of the machine if I hit my limit. So I mean, I guess that's okay, but I think they get used for so many things that that's not going to happen. I mean, the med kits, we're sitting at pretty much almost our cap. So I set the cap at 10. We're there, but we're low on spares. And spares are getting neglected, like med packs were getting neglected in the previous episode, because I'm really just kind of, I get build happy, man. I just want to expand and expand and expand, so that is pretty much what's happening here. All right, no, you guys, I'm sorry about the rant. I feel bad about it. I got a little excited there. I really did get pretty excited, but at least it woke me up because, I'm feeling tired during this episode too. I'm feeling off ever since, I worked too many hours trying to get all my computers to where I wanted them, and I think it's really messed up my sleep cycle. So yeah, I can't catch up. I feel like constantly in this perpetual tired mode. All right, so cool. So we're gonna get to do what I said I wanted to do towards the end of this episode, and I really shouldn't be doing it. Sometimes, I guess, words just have no meaning whatsoever, do they? Oh, yeah. So you say things and then you don't do it, right? Oh, man. Building two things at once. Such a bad idea. It's kind of weird how the game prioritizes things, too. So when you set down the secondary thing, like we just set down a large dormitory, they're going to build that before they finish off the power collector, which the power collector is almost finished. I think it needs one more piece of metal, but it's not going to get it until the dormitory is finished. Whatever. It's all good. We have enough power to maintain. And I don't know, were we running into a power situation because we were low on one of our power collectors? I'm not sure. I think that may have actually happened. We really were finagling around with our power during this episode, but it had to get done. Whoa, that was close. Yeah, the laser, it's not perfect. It's not perfect, so there is still a potential threat. I don't really have any recent plans to build an additional telescope, even though I probably should. I really want to get this like superstructure built on the end of my base over here. I want to get the starport built so we can have some big ships coming in and people hanging out and all that. We still have so much to go though. I like to, I like to get ahead all the time. I'm always thinking forward, not thinking in the present. But I don't know, with these kind of games, that's kind of what you do. Yeah, you just, you keep on going. Building. Same thing with like SimCity, same thing with City Skylines. You just keep on working away at the infrastructure that you've laid down, and if it's not right, you tear it down, you fix it. I don't know. I like I like this style of game. I really am enjoying myself with this game, and I can't quite nail it down what it is, Some people in the comments say this game looks so boring. It's so boring, DX. Why do you keep playing it? It's so boring. It's not to me. I really, really enjoy it. It's just this mash between all these games. It feels like these developers have played like Banished and Startopia and a few other games, and they just mashed it into this game, and I don't know, it works. I mean, at this point, we've seen a majority of what this game kind of has to offer. We have a few more things to grab, but we know in the future, like, kind of what those things are. We got technologies, and we're just trying to grow the facility up and all of that and keep it protected. But, at this point, there's not really a lot of secrets. I mean, the fun for me at this point is just continuing building upon the infrastructure and not letting it fail, and making sure that all the colonists, live and thrive and are comfortable. And at this point, I just kind of want to see how it's all going to fall into place, because it's not all quite known, even though, I said we know all the things that are in the game, kind of, but we don't know exactly if we're going to have a catastrophic failure or something bad or disastrous happens, or like a whole squad of Marines come down and shoot everybody in my colony. I don't know. Anyways, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Have a great day and take care.